Welcome to Fright Night.
Hey there guys, this is Sam
and Justin
at the Survival Review, and continuing our Halloween reviews, we are going to be discussing one of the best vampire movies, period, but of the 80s.
Oh yeah.
is what I would say.
Yeah.
Fright Night, the classic. The best way I would describe it to a person who's never seen it is like a fun version of Rear Window, but with a vampire.
Yeah.
It's more kind of a like campy, not too campy. It's but a campy Rear Window.
Yeah.
But the neighbor is a vampire.
Yeah, and it plays into all of the vampire tropes, but does it in the most loving way.
Yes. Tom Holland, the director, it's his debut film. You could tell that he loves vampires.
Yeah.
Vampire movies. The movie opens on two kids watching not a real vampire movie, but like this old movie on TV, and it's like just this love letter. Kind of, I would say, especially like the Hammer vampire movies, because you've got Roddy McDowall, who is essentially like a Peter Cushing, but like washed up and a fraud.
Yeah, essentially he plays the character Peter Vincent.
Yes.
Who's a former horror movie actor turned horror host.
Yes. The movie actually follows primarily Charlie Brewster.
Yes.
Who's just a teenager. Kind of a dork. He likes horror movies, and he's there with his girlfriend Amy, and they're having couples dispute and all that. But the couples dispute begins with him seeing two men carrying a coffin.
Yeah, essentially he just looks out his window and he sees these two guys walking by with a coffin and going into like the cellar.
Yes, and his immediate reaction to that isn't that they're just storing a coffin in the cellar. It's there's something strange happening.
Yeah.
It gets started immediately, pretty much.
He literally goes from just like, screwing my girlfriend? No, wait, vampires.
There's a vampire next door. This is serious. It's like, he has his priorities straight.
Yeah. Basically, so he said his girlfriend is Amy, as also his friend is Ed, also known as Evil Ed, who's just this like crazy, ridiculous guy.
Yeah. I think I liked him a lot more when I was little. He bordered, I still like him.
Yeah.
He borders on being annoying at times.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster.
Yeah.
He's out there and he's having fun with it. So it's never obnoxious.
Yeah, and basically these new people moved into the house next door. So basically his next door neighbor is this guy named Jerry, who's just, seems like a nice guy. And then, Charlie looks out his window to see basically just confirmation that he's a vampire.
Yeah. It's very, it's like he was trying to frame it perfectly for him to see it.
Like literally the movie you kind of think it's going to be like a mystery, like if he's a vampire or not, but really just like 20 minutes in it's like, nah, he's a vampire.
It's straight, it's very upfront about it. There's no question at all.
But the problem is that, of course nobody believes him.
Yes.
He literally calls the cops over to the house.
Well, he calls the cops over, and at first he handles it somewhat well. He's like, no, I'm not telling them that he's a vampire. There are murders going on that he keeps seeing on the news, and he's like, no, I saw the woman. Really, all he had to do was tell the cop, I saw the woman who was on the news instead go into the house, and they would probably do an investigation. But he gets the cop into the house and is like, we need to go into the basement. Why?
A coffin! That's what's down there, a coffin. I saw them carry it in.
What?
He goes to try to convince Peter Vincent, who just got fired from his job as a horror host.
Which is the moment in the movie where you sort of realize, okay, this Peter Vincent guy is just a total fraud.
Yeah.
And he's
oh my God,
by far the best character in the movie.
Yeah. Roddy McDowall is so great.
He's hilarious in the movie.
There's a scene where Charlie's friends are trying to convince him to go do like a check and see if Jerry really is a vampire, and they're trying to convince him. He's like, oh, I don't got time for this. I have a big studio movie that's lined up for me.
I'm very busy. I'm a Hollywood man, and they're like, I'll give you $500. He's like, I'm sold.
Yeah, exactly.
Like immediately just complete an utter fraud. But I love him. He, until pretty much the very end, is still a coward and runs away. Like, there's the scene when they first go into Jerry's house.
Points the cross at him, and like Jerry goes, "It doesn't work. You have to believe in it.
You have to have faith for that, Peter."
And also because it's Ryan McDowell, he's like also charming at the same time.
Yeah, he really has these subtle nuances to his performance that really just add to it.
You can just tell he just like relished the role. Like, this easily could have been a role that he could have just been like, oh, what?
Yeah, he could have phoned it in easily. He's great, and he tries his best. Everybody's doing great.
Yeah, the cast is all really good, especially Chris Sarandon as Jerry.
Yes, Chris Sarandon. This is typically the movie I think of when I think, The Princess Bride. Prince Humperdinck is probably my favorite role of his, but this is the other movie I think of when I think Chris Sarandon. Yeah. Because he's a vampire, he's very menacing, but in like kind of a seductive way.
Yeah, he's friggin' charming as hell.
Yes. It like the whole dance sequence is probably the most 80s part of this entire movie. It's such a good performance. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
But also when he goes like full vampire, he goes over the top and just like relishes the part. Yeah, he's hilarious.
He really chews the scenery. Yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah, it's like a good mixture of like kind of like subtleness and also like scenery chewing. And it's just really well done. I love the scene where like, like Charlie goes to Ed to like ask like, what should I do to stop him and everything. And he tells him all stuff. He's like, well, you're gonna be safe if you don't invite him into your home. And then next scene he's at his house. His mom's just like, oh, come down here. Look who's here.
Look, I brought over our neighbor, the vampire.
Basically, and he's there. And he specifically goes like almost like thanks for inviting me in. And
now I'm going to be coming over as much as I can.
Of course. Now that I've been made welcome, I'll probably drop by quite a bit. In fact, anytime I feel like it.
And this movie just plays into all of the vampire tropes. It doesn't like try to create its own like new mythology on how things work. And normally that might be a bad thing for some movies. Like you want it to be like original. But that's kind of the point of this one. Yeah. And it works so well. Like it has every single vampire cliche. It has like the cross, the garlic having to be invited into the home, the coffin, like holy water, like all that stuff. It has every vampire trope, but that's kind of the point of the movie.
The whole thing is like a kid who loves these vampire movies and an actor who's completely washed up but knows the movies like the back of his hand because he was in all of them. Amy gets bit by Jerry, and they're like, can we save her? And he's like, well, it worked in the movie if we kill him before before sunrise.
And I like that too, because it would be kind of like annoying if like they try something on, they're like, oh, what? You think this is a movie? Like, and it's like,
that would be kind of lame. Yeah, it works for the consistency of the movie, and it's just fun.
Exactly.
Like you said, it's kind of a love letter to older vampire movies. It's just like a more contemporary take, but with the same exact tropes and
same exact like mythos of vampires.
It's just bringing it into the 80s.
Yes, and speaking of the 80s, the effects in this movie are great. Wonderful. 80s effects.
Absolutely. They kind of trickle them in slowly. Yeah. There's a little bit of you see him go full vampire a little bit earlier on. But then the whole climax is just wonderful.
Yeah, it's great. Because Ed ends up getting bitten at one point and becomes like basically like a minion for Jerry.
The first cover, I would always see a VHS cover of this movie, and that's how I first saw this movie. And the cover is just his face with the cross burned in on it. And I was like, that's the coolest looking cover, and I always wanted to watch it.
And there's a scene where he turns into a wolf and like jumps and attacks like Peter Vincent. Yeah. And after he stops him, you see him like kind of turning back and stuff. Like,
it's this really gruesome, it's like a reverse werewolf transformation scene. And it's really, really like you see like everything, bones crunching and all that stuff.
It's painful too, because he's in pain. He's dying.
It's not a character that you want to see die. No. He was like possessed by the vampirism. Yeah. But it's really kind of sad.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you get to the end, because Jerry also has this one guy who's living with him, who I guess is kind of like Jerry's like main kind of minion guy, who just seems to be a normal guy because he goes out in daylight and everything. But then when they kill him,
they shoot him in the head and then shoot him another like dozen times. Yeah. And then they're finally like, I don't know,
stab him. And then he like melts, and it's great.
It's insane. There's green goop and everything, and it's delightful. Another great part is the girlfriend. I mean, not. She's fine as the girlfriend, but when she turns into a vampire, it is wonderful. The makeup generally throughout the movie is quite good. Yeah. But she's kind of a standout. She's really...
It's a very memorable image. Yes. Of her just a giant mouth and everything.
When her mouth is like, oh my god, that legitimately when I first saw this when I was kind of little.
Yeah.
Terrified the hell out of me.
Yeah.
It's just so
I mean, so good they made it to the poster in the movie.
Exactly.
But it's one of the most like memorable images from the movie. There's a lot of great like memorable moments and like imagery from this movie. And I like the scene where they're trying to convince Jerry to come over and do like the vampire test, and like the excuses he gave, they're just like, "We're gonna bring a cross." He's like, "Oh no, I'm a newly reformed Christian."
Yeah, I'm a born again Christian, and that would be sacrilege. I can't really do that.
Yeah, and I love it that where it's like, "What about the holy water?"
No, won't do either.
Tell him it's just ordinary tap water. All he has to do is sip it.
Oh, yes, okay. That sounds fine.
And I just love that back and forth.
As they give him the tap water, he's like, "You're sure this is holy water?"
Yeah, he's
right?
like super nervous.
Because he's like, "This is holy water. I'm not about to chug this shit."
Yeah, this is a lot of great little things like that.
Yeah.
That like little good attention to detail. It's a really great 80s vampire movie. It kind of has a fun play on it because having, the kid like see his next door neighbor as a vampire is a really kind of interesting play on it. And almost, I mean, it doesn't really make it relatable because it doesn't happen, but that character, like Charlie Brewster character, seems like just a real person. So you can almost put yourself in his shoes. Like, if that was me, I would probably be thinking the same thing that it's a vampire. Sure. A normal person probably wouldn't, but I would.
Yeah, both of us. We've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's checklist. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.
Exactly.
Nobody believes me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to sharpen my bed frame into a pike.
It's a very charming, like, unique, and really funny movie.
Yeah, definitely very funny.
Yeah.
It knows how to have fun with its concept, and it's just very playful.
It's a good balance. Like, it doesn't get too cheesy and too self-aware.
It's not completely... It never really turns to camp.
No. It also has a lot of really good atmosphere in it. Some really good kind of gothic-y atmospheric shots in it that work really well.
It takes its concept serious enough and has fun with it.
Yeah, it's just a clever movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Fright Night. Just one of the classic 80s horror movies.
Yeah, one that I was kind of surprised we never talked about.
I know, yeah.
Great movie. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you later.